TV exclusive coverage of the Wi-Fi Global Congress event from London. And I'm joined now by Derek Peterson, who is CTO at Boingo. Derek, thanks for talking with us on Telecom TV.
Thanks for having me here.
I'd like to ask about the challenges that the industry faces. What would you say are the biggest challenges and perhaps opportunities that the Wi-Fi industry faces today?
I think the key thing is everybody wants it as fast as they can get it, and trying to get it to them as fast as you can in a secure way, and is the challenge, execution on that.
Is security still important for users? Because Wi-Fi's had this image for a while. It's so different to cellular. But are users getting more savvy and realizing they want secure networks, or is this coming from the providers?
I think it's from both. I think it's about speed, of course, always is what users want. So, hey, how much speed can I get? And now when you're dealing with 802.11 AC Wave 2, you're getting gigabit speeds with Wi-Fi, so that's great. But then the other thing is we need to make sure that they're secure, because we don't want any bad things happen. With all the stuff that's happened with security, it's really just about making sure that you don't have a problem that exists today that needs to be resolved.
We talk at the moment about the convergence, the coexistence of cellular, and we're looking at technologies like LAA and LTEU, more acronyms. How will this play with Wi-Fi and Wi-Fi providers? Will it be a threat to Wi-Fi providers, or will it enable them to, say, offer more cellular-like services?
Well, I think that the LAA, LTEU, all those other things that are going on, even Wi-Fi, and cellular companies starting to use Wi-Fi. It's really about an overall existing problem. We have a 2,000 megahertz problem, so that basically we want to be able to have 2,000 megahertz is from what everybody's saying that we're going to be able to provide the kind of speeds and density that we need to people. And right now with Wi-Fi you have about 500, and with cellular you have about 400. So you combine all of that, you get 900, you still have a problem. So really it's about recognizing that we need to solve that. We need to figure out how to combine Wi-Fi, how to combine cellular, how to get it all working great together. And if you can get it working together and then add more spectrum, then you're actually going to solve the problem that's ahead for us. So I think that LTEU, LAA, they're great opportunities to recognize, and then there's other things like LWA that are coming out, utilizing Wi-Fi and cellular together in a single call. So Wi-Fi does the download, the upload comes from cellular. So there's all these interesting things that you can do to empower Wi-Fi and empower mobility coverage, and I think we have to do it all. And I think that's the challenge is with all these standards bodies like the WBA and the WFA and the GSM and everybody else, is trying to get them all to work together and realize that convergence is the answer, and figuring out how the best way to converge all these different ecosystems of networks that are out there.
But we still need more spectrum, is that what you're saying?
Oh yes, most definitely. I mean, we're going to have to. I mean, there's a reason why the cellular guys are looking at the 5 gigahertz range. It's because they're recognizing that they need more, and there's a reason why most countries are now doing auctions. So spectrum's, I think going to continue to be important. Years ago I worked for another company called Iridium. Satellite. We haven't really taken advantage of some of that satellite. We're going to have to bring everything to bear, I think, and just really start recognizing it's an industry problem we all need to solve together.
One of the technologies that you're known for, the distributed antenna systems, DAS. Why the interest in DAS?
So again, it's really about recognizing that each venue and each location is a little bit differently. A distributed antenna system is great when you have a large amount of people in a very small space, so a large venue, for example. And what it allows you to do is it allows you to take spectrum and move it appropriately for where it needs to be utilized. And then some of the new technology coming out with distributed radio systems or digital DAS, where you can actually run the back off of the same backbone instead of having to bring in these huge base stations that you have to do today with DAS. That's going to be very important for the future for DAS as well. So that, small cells, Wi-Fi, all those are part of what we do at Boingo, and we're going to continue to do, because at the end of the day, we're really there trying to help out the venues and make sure that there's connectivity in venues, because the people are demanding it who walk through these large venues.
Are the venue owners getting smarter about how they provision and what kinds of services they offer on Wi-Fi?
They are, and we're helping them quite a bit. We ended up announcing about a year ago, 8 months ago, a thing called SMART, and it's a new way of looking at the way you build networks. So it stands for Secure, Multi-Platform, Analytics-Driven, Responsive, and Tiered. What it basically means is let's look at how individuals are using the internet or using the connectivity and be able to steer the appropriate connectivity, whether it's cellular, whether it's Wi-Fi, to them, and then the appropriate amount of bandwidth for the platform or the service that they're using. So that's all part of our SMART technology, and that's how we're out there right now building these and upgrading all of these networks that we run.
And about a month ago, you announced a deal with the US carrier Sprint to bring Wi-Fi into airports. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, I mean, that was the first true offloading relationship. So we have relationships with most of the mobile operators. Most of them are roaming deals. A lot of them, you know, they're focused on international and have been that. But what Sprint did, and uniquely, is they said, you know what, we want to end up providing a better service for our customers. So they ended up allowing, and are allowing, all of their customers to connect to Boingo hotspots throughout the U.S., and it will continue to expand at other areas automatically. So the user just uses their phone and they're just getting automatically offloaded and put onto to Wi-Fi. There are other carriers that have deals that are doing it. They're a little bit more selective, and I think that they're all recognizing that 2,000 megahertz problem, and it's all, you know, in the next year, it's all going to be, hey, take advantage of whatever you've got. And so we're well positioned to help out more. So we're looking forward to helping out everybody that we can.
Finally, what do you think the WBA needs to do to continue its support of the industry and nurture the industry? Because you're a WBA board member. So what should we expect to see from the WBA in the months and years ahead?
Well, we've got to continue to accelerate the adoption of PassPoint. PassPoint's essential because it's seamless, it's secure, and it takes out some of the technology problems about getting connected. So we've got to continue to accelerate that. And then we're going to have to recognize that it's going to be a converged world, right? And so we've got to recognize diversity is going to be important in our profile. And so you'll hear, you know, JR and other board members say the same thing. We're looking at that as part of the board, and we're recognizing we need to diversify. We need to recognize Internet of Things is coming. It's going to require Wi-Fi spectrum. It's going to require unlicensed, licensed, and everything else. And so it's really about trying to figure out how to bring those services to bear.
Great. Derek, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.